Hey everybody, Michigan Cryptid. So, I wanted to do a breakdown today of the things that I think we can say we've learned about these Sabe Bigfoot people, and be things that we can be relatively sure we've figured out. And I've got a list here that I've compiled, 14 items here. Before we get into that, I want to remind you guys, man, if you had something happen out there, send me your story so I can share it here with everybody. See what we can learn from it. Send that story to michigancryptid@gmail.com. Thanks, you guys. Alright, now, the first thing I've got in my list of 14, and these aren't in any particular order, by the way. The first thing is that they are interdimensional. I think we can say that with confidence at this point. The second thing I have here, they know and love God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. This is something else that I've learned. The third thing I have here is that they choose whether or not to leave a track or a print. Number 4, they can mimic almost anything perfectly. And I know from a story that Angie shared with me that they start practicing that at a young age. She said she heard a younger one night practicing an owl. She said it was pretty cool to sit there and listen to. Number 5 here, they can remote view through predators' eyes. Now, I'm pretty sure I actually had that happen to me, and I shared that with you guys in another video, and it was a bunch of owls. Number 6 here is cloaking. The fact that they can somewhat disappear right in front of us. Number 7 is infrasound. Heard plenty of stories there on Steve's channel about a sound being emitted and either deer or people just frozen. Charlie, no. Somebody out here, y'all got Charlie acting crazy. Alright. Number 8 I have here, masters of energy and manipulation of energy. Number 9 is the fact that they can change shapes. Anything from a ball of light to an animal, it would seem. Just all kinds of stories of them turning into something else. Man, I remember one of them comes to mind that Steve read. The guy saw something behind a big tree that was down, and when he looked at it, it ducked down. He said he never took his eyes off it, walked up there, and when he looked over it, there was a little fox curled up sleeping, you know. So apparently they can turn themselves into whatever they want, you guys. Number 10 I've got here is the fact that they can open portals. That's a pattern that has become clear through the years of listening to all these stories being read. Number 11 I have is the fact that they're telepathic and can do mind speak, as some of us will call it these days. Number 12, they have the ability to imprint or project fear or love. The fear thing I think happened to me once when I was on a dirt bike out in some state land, for no reason at all, just out of the blue. I absolutely thought I was going to die in there that day, and I think that's what I had going on. It was a very scary deal. And on the other side of that, I've heard from Angie that she's experienced that love that they can project. I think that's pretty awesome, you guys. Another thing that has become clear to listen to all of these incidents, you guys, is the fact that they can run at at crazy speeds. Several witnesses say they're going down the freeway and one of these things comes out of the woods and runs right with the car. So, crazy speeds, you guys. And the 14th thing that I have here is kind of a couple of things that have recurred as a pattern. And that's the possibility of the manipulation of time and wind. A lot of these stories, there's a pattern of when they show up, man, everything stops, including the wind. Strange as that sounds. And there are a lot of incidences, you guys, that involve these Sabe of some sort of time loss. Whether that's you've been put through one portal and into another, or if they can just manipulate time, I have no idea, but it's pretty obvious that one of the two have occurred. A couple of theories that I have at this point too. I think they can also manipulate the forces of gravity if and when they choose to. And I believe they can manipulate the molecular structure of things. Like that big tree twist, you guys. That was a big, healthy tree. And I think in order to twist that thing off, you'd have to weaken it first, molecularly, and then twist it and slam it on the ground. And from what I hear, they can stroll right through a wall, so it doesn't really seem to be a stretch to me that they could weaken a tree with some sort of power and then twist it off with the physical strength that they also possess. A couple of other notes that I've got here, you guys, and I remember is that their eyesight is different from ours. They seem to be much more sensitive to light, you guys, and they can see all the trail cam beams, you guys. And I remember one story in particular that came from a pilot that Steve read on his channel, and it was something along the lines of this guy's flying his jet 3 to 5 miles out, and on the side of a mountain sees one of these Sabe. As soon as he hits it with his laser pointer, this thing goes like this. I think they have extremely sensitive eyes. I also feel like they have a different voice box than we do. Some of the sounds they can pull off, maybe they have more than one set of vocal cords, I don't know, but the screams that they have that go from lion to elephant to, you know, women being tortured, it almost seems like several different voices screaming at once. So I think that's another possibility, you guys. Well, that's a little review that I wanted to go over with everybody. That's a pretty good list of things that I think we've figured out to this point, and we'll keep trying to add to that. I appreciate you guys' time. The weather is terrible. It's just raining and miserable outside. So, want to remind you guys, I want to share everybody's stories here. If something happened to you, even if it happened to somebody you know, I'd like to share it here. And if you would, send me your story to michigancryptid@gmail.com, and we'll share it with everybody. The more we share, the more we'll be able to figure out, you guys. Now, due to the fact that there's terrible weather out there, and I don't currently have any emails to share, I'm also going to throw up a video or two of just some old guy doing some tree work, you guys. Some people find it interesting. Happens that I got a couple little videos of me doing just that. It's from a couple years ago at my wife's aunt's house, and these trees are over a fence in the garage and some other stuff, so they're somewhat tricky to do. Anyway, guys, I hope you're safe and warm, and I hope you're wrapped in love from God, man. Thanks for your time. Michigan Cryptid out.